This post got 3,338 upvotes on Reddit. Here's the story. Am I the asshole for not letting my family live in my empty house? I, 38M, come from a family that has always struggled to get by. My mother raised 4 sons as a single mother and would go to the ends of the earth for us. She has always rented, as has most of my immediate and extended family. I broke the mold when I got my dream house built in 2016. It's quite a large home as, at the time, I was planning on eventually starting a family and having kids. Fast forward to today, I ended up focusing more on my career and have been in no rush to start a family, so besides romantic partners and the occasional temporary roommate, I've lived in my house alone. I'm set to move overseas later this year and it will be for the foreseeable future. I offered to let my mother live in my house while I'm away, and I've offered her many times prior to this, but she has again said no. She likes where she lives and has no plans to move. She is in a housing commission/public housing house, so the rent is very low and the lease is essentially indefinite. Both my older and next younger brother, there are 4 of us and I'm the second oldest, found out about my offer to my mother and started throwing out not so subtle hints about letting either of them move in. It all came to a head over Easter when they both asked outright if either of them/their families can stay at my house, and I told them in no uncertain terms, they aren't allowed in my home while I'm away. This led both of them to blow up at me, calling me selfish, saying I never needed a house that big anyway and now I won't even be living in it, while they both have partners/kids and their current house/apartment aren't big enough for their families, but with the housing crunch, they can't afford any bigger. I called them out on this. They both earn decent money but just can't budget. They spend money like it's going to rot. They both go on regular, and quite pricey, holidays, always have the latest gadgets, and one just bought a $70K plus AITA. I ended up leaving the Easter festivities early when they wouldn't drop the subject and started using my nieces and nephews as props to guilt me into letting either of them move in. My family has been blowing up my phone ever since. Even my mother has tried to find a way to get me to let them move in. I don't trust them in my home without me, but am I just selfish for leaving a large home empty for so long when they have growing families? So Reddit, am I the asshole? Here are some top comments.
Not the asshole, but you're going to want to find someone to rent the place while you are gone. Homes don't tend to do well while nobody is living there. Eventually things deteriorate.
Please find yourself some responsible renters with great references from past landlords and a huge security deposit. And rent, rent, rent. If you like, you can share the rent dollar with your mother. Otherwise, when you return, I fear your house won't be empty, and if you live in a place with squatters' rights, your house might essentially belong to your brother in residence. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole, but you seriously want to consider what might happen if you leave a large house unattended for a long period of time.
Not the asshole. And they will never, ever move out. You'll come home and then it will be, why you're not mean enough to kick us out, right? And could you imagine if they do some crazy shenanigans and you would have to go through an official eviction process?